In a fresh humiliation for Meghan Markle, British author and illustrator Mel Elliott has accused the Duchess of Sussex of lifting key elements from her critically acclaimed children's book Pearl Power for the now-cancelled Netflix animated series Pearl. The result? A scandal brewing with legal implications and another dent in Meghan's already fragile credibility as a creative force. What was meant to be a triumphant foray into children's storytelling has instead become a case study in alleged plagiarism, and the world is watching. The dramatic accusation has sparked fury across the publishing and entertainment world. Mel Elliott, the mind behind the empowering, feminist children's book series Pearl Power, publicly claimed that Meghan's project bore striking similarities to her own work. Elliott's series, which debuted in 2013, centers on a young, confident girl named Pearl who fights everyday sexism with wit, courage, and imagination. Sound familiar? That's because Meghan's proposed Netflix show, also called Pearl, was billed as a family-focused animated series about a 12-year-old girl who finds inspiration in influential women throughout history, coincidentally also named Pearl. In a blistering statement that sent shockwaves through both the literary and royal gossip circuits, Elliott suggested she was considering legal action against the Duchess and her now-defunct Archwell Productions. "I am not litigious by nature," Elliott told the Daily Mail, "but when a high-profile figure and former royal appears to mirror the themes, character, and even the name of my work, I have no choice but to defend my intellectual property." She is not alone. Social media sleuths and publishing insiders have already begun comparing both Pearls side by side, pointing out eerie parallels that go far beyond coincidence. This isn't the first time Meghan Markle has been accused of co-opting other people's ideas and selling them as her own. From her heavily mocked 40 by 40 initiative, which critics noted bore resemblance to numerous already existing mentorship programs, to her Archetypes podcast, which came under fire for recycling cliches about gender roles. The Duchess's creative portfolio has long been dogged by accusations of superficiality and mimicry. But this is the first time a legal threat has loomed over a project with such direct financial and reputational implications. And let's be clear, this isn't just some hobby project Meghan dreamed up in her spare time. Netflix reportedly shelled out $100 million to the Duke and Duchess for content. Pearl was touted as a cornerstone of that deal. Meghan herself was billed as an executive producer along with David Furnish, husband of Elton John. Netflix hyped the project as an inspirational venture, a bold step into animated storytelling. Then came the axe. In 2022, Netflix quietly canceled Pearl before it ever aired, citing a strategic cutback on animation, though inside about the show's originality were already swirling. With Elliott's legal saber now rattling in public, Netflix could face further scrutiny. Did the streaming giant fail to vet the intellectual foundations of its royal investment? And did Meghan Markle, armed with a global platform and immense financial backing, simply assume she could repackage someone else's creation under the glow of royal stardom? The timing couldn't be worse for Meghan. Her recent efforts to rebrand as a lifestyle mogul with American Riviera Orchard have been widely mocked for lacking authenticity and vision. The same criticisms now haunt her attempt to pivot into children's media. For someone who once declared she was just getting started post-royal life, it's becoming increasingly clear that she's running on creative fumes. Mel Elliott, by contrast, is a seasoned author and illustrator who built her success from the ground up. Pearl Power was born not out of Netflix deals or celebrity clout, but out of a genuine desire to inspire young girls. Her books have been translated into multiple languages and used in classrooms around the world to teach gender equality and self-confidence. She has a loyal fan base and industry respect, two things Meghan desperately craves but cannot seem to retain. The public reaction has been predictably brutal. Twitter erupted with #PearlPower trending as users dissected the similarities between the two projects. Many called on Meghan to apologize, with some suggesting Netflix should have issued a disclaimer or at least credited Elliott for inspiration. "Once again, Meghan Markle is playing Duchess of Deception," one commenter wrote. Others questioned why the mainstream media, particularly U.S. outlets, have been reluctant to cover the controversy. Another example, critics say, of Meghan's carefully protected PR bubble. Of course, Meghan's defenders argue that Pearl was simply a common name and that feminist themes in children's content are widespread. But those arguments quickly fall apart under closer scrutiny. The combination of character name, age, purpose, and style makes this far more than an innocent overlap. It's a branding near clone. In the intellectual property world, that's not just inspiration. That's grounds for litigation. What makes this more damning is that Meghan herself has previously spoken out ironically about the importance of protecting one's creative work. In her lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday, she insisted her copyright was sacred and her private writings inviolable. Yet now, faced with a mirror of someone else's labor, she remains silent. Silence is no longer an option. Mel Elliott's call-out, bolstered by side-by-side comparisons and growing media interest, has cracked the foundation of Meghan's creative credibility. If this spirals into a courtroom drama, as Elliott suggests it might, it will be yet another catastrophic PR meltdown for the Sussex brand. The irony, of course, is biting. Meghan Markle, who once decried being silenced, may now find herself speechless, not from oppression, but exposure. In the battle between an independent author with a clear vision and a duchess grasping at a post-royal identity, authenticity may finally win the day. And for Meghan, who built her post-palace brand on empowerment and originality, this may go down as one of her most humiliating unravelings yet.